So we would like to welcome everyone currently tuned in. Of course, this is another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and we have so many things to tell you about. Boy, let me make sure we fix up with mic and thing. I want to make sure you hear me properly. You understand? Yeah, man. So we fix up good. All right, so folks, this is it right now. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Hoping that you had yourself a good day and you're ready to consume some news. We're going to be talking to you about what's taking place here in Grenada and other parts of the Caribbean, with a little emphasis and focus on the corona virus that's been making the rounds that everyone, in fact, is talking about. We'll talk about Grenada's preparedness and many more other things here on tonight's Mikey Live program. As usual, we want to say thank you to those of you who are viewing the program for the first time. You are tuning in. Well, thank you very much. And don't make it the first and your last. You must always come back on the thing with a shedding on the program. Yeah, Azan. Good. So yes, good. All right. And for those of you who are always on the program, we call you the loyal supporters, the pillars of the program. We want to say thank you for so doing. Now, let us take a look at our headlines. In the headlines, Grenada stands to benefit from World Bank support for COVID-19 response activities. Grenadian tourism icon to be laid to rest tomorrow. Bus and truck collide head-on in St. Andrew, and soon Grenada will be able to test for coronavirus. Also, any moment now, Grenada can have its first case of the COVID-19, says the Ministry of Health. Now, 7 Grenadians are selected to play for Windward's Volcanoes in CWI Round 7 4-day championship, and $335,000 raised towards the Carlton Home Re-establishment Fund. So we have that and more to tell you about when we return on tonight's Mikey Live. We want to let you know that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Nawasa and as well Digicel. Now when we return, it gonna be real news in all your lily lolo. So brace all yourself and make sure, for some of you, it's just as simple as hitting share. Share the program on your page. Share the program so that other people will know that we are live. So we are taking our first break, and we will come back with the news in a moment.
Is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring 2-time Grammy Award winners Kool and the Gang, Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Was Ways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Shallow Ranks. 3 nights of amazing music, great food, and pure Grenada hospitality. Grenada Music Festival 2020, June 5th to 7th, Quarantine Park, Grenada. Tickets available online at gotofet.com. Book your flights at hotel today. This ad is sponsored by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand St. George.
Why not stay in? Turn off the alarm clock and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz. For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Golden Mass invites you to the launch of The Realm, home of the supreme gods and goddesses. Join us as we display our spectacular costume designs for Spice Mass 2020. March 7th, Spice Basket, featuring the best entertainers, our ambassadors, Natty and Tunda, Jab King, Chaos and LED, our hype masters for the night, Kevin Crown from New York, Select the Beast and Smiley. Gates open at 9 p.m. Grab your tickets at Grenade and Optical, The Occasion, Big Barbershop, Double Up, and online at GoToVet.com. Sponsored by Fast Cash, Swiftback, Body Image, Junction Bar and Grill, Monster, Jackpot City, GoToVet, Party Grenada, and Boss FM. March 7th, Spice Basket. Welcome to the realm, to the realm, to the realm.
Brab. Welcome to the realm. And that's it now. And it is now time for the news. Now, audio, the first thing that I want to tell you about, boys, that on the Prime Minister, let's talk about that first. The Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, he has welcomed the announcement by the World Bank Group of immediate support for COVID-19 response activities. Now, here's what. On Tuesday, March 3rd, the World Bank announced through a press release that it is making available an initial package of up to $12 billion in immediate support to assist countries coping with the health and economic impacts of the global outbreak. So the financing, as the bank explained, is intended to help member countries take effective action to respond to and lessen the tragic impacts of COVID-19. Now, the World Bank press release further stated that the new fast-track package will help developing countries strengthen health systems, including better access to health services to safeguard people from the epidemic, strengthen disease surveillance, bolster public health interventions, and work with the private sector to reduce the impact on the economies. Now, both grants and low-interest loans for low-income countries will be available through the newly announced financial package, some of which will be channeled through the International Development Association, the IDA. Now, Dr. Mitchell said this pledge of support from the World Bank is welcome news. He said the threat of the COVID-19 requires countries to make huge financial commitments to implement the wide-ranging measures that are necessary as part of the preventative efforts. Therefore, any offer of support will go a long way in helping to meet that challenge. He further stated that Grenada's vastly improved economic situation and or implementation of measures to maintain fiscal prudence have made us eligible for highly concessionary funding through IDA, and therefore we are confident that with the new package announced by the World Bank, we will be considered among the list of potential beneficiaries. All right, and that's from the Prime Minister. And while we're talking about the Prime Minister, he has announced an additional $2 million to further bolster Grenada's preparedness for the COVID-19. And in an address to the nation on Tuesday evening, Dr. Mitchell reassured the population that all the necessary measures are being taken to safeguard the country and its people. He said, "We will not spare any efforts in ensuring that all the necessary measures are in place to protect our country, and therefore we stand prepared to increase that figure if it becomes necessary as the situation unfolds." Yesterday, the National Democratic Congress called for the closure of our ports of entry so as to prevent the Grenadian public from being contaminated with the virus by visiting infected persons. Olio, tomorrow is going to be a really sad day for people in the tourism industry. The tourism icon, Sir Royston Hopkins KCMG, will be laid to rest. I cannot even believe I'm saying this. It is almost like it's unreal. Things are moving so fast in his life that one minute you have a gentleman who has been admired throughout the world in the tourism industry. We have to apologize for that that interference in our microphone system, all right? And we get back into the story, and as I was saying, so tomorrow, God's willing, we will see Sir Royston Hopkins being laid to rest. All right, he died on Saturday, February 22nd from complications after heart surgery in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Sir Royston was engaged in the tourism industry for more than 5 decades and served the region as president of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourist Association. He will be accorded an official funeral. I'm telling you, what is life, man? One minute you're here, and the other minute somebody's talking about your burial and how you were while you were alive. Speaking of alive, the victims or persons involved in this accident can say that they are indeed lucky to be alive. These vehicles collided in the Marquee area today, and we have heard of injuries sustained following this accident. All right, what led to this, we are still not certain. Information is very sketchy on this, but we understand this incident happened just sometime after 3 p.m. today. Yeah, we were told that injured persons was taken to the hospital. I believe the most severely injured was one of the drivers, the driver of the bus. All right. Moving on, and the next thing that we need to tell you about, boy, soon and very soon, Grenada will be able to test for the coronavirus. Currently, we do not have that capability, and so we understand that equipment is on its way to Grenada. Grenada will soon be receiving equipment. It will allow us to be able to test for the coronavirus and as well the influenza. So says the Minister for Health, Minister Nicholas Steele. Steele said that due to the virus, the ministry fast-tracked a few things that were scheduled to be implemented sometime later in the year.
As has the whole situation been moving quickly, so too have we. We immediately fast-tracked certain items and certain things that were to be done later on this year. For instance, we had secured and we have previously announced that we got the $6 million from IDA, which was for the strengthening of primary health care. Part of that funds was to be used to bring our laboratory services here in Grenada to a Tier 1. Part of that equipment would have been the PCR tester that would allow us to test for influenza virus as well as for COVID-19 virus. So instead of waiting for that later on in the year, we made a commitment and purchased or procured the equipment from Pan American Health. So it's on its way to be tested, to arrive here. That also includes the training and support from PAHO, so that we will be able to test for COVID-19 and also, just as important, to test for influenza A virus here in Grenada.
Thank you very much, Minister Steele. Now, also we're hearing from Dr. Francis Martin. They are saying that they have beefed up their surveillance and everything that is necessary to make the various checks and so on, so as to keep the coronavirus off our shores. However, Dr. Francis said that any moment now we can expect our first case of the coronavirus.
We are now, as I said, in the stage of importation and transmission, and we are expecting a case anytime now because it is now in our sub-region. You have heard that St. Martin, St. Bartholomew and the DR, there are cases there. So really and truly, any moment now, a case can arrive on our shore. And so what we are shifting to is being able to mitigate and being able to treat, being able to test and treat. And I think this is where the region is going to go very soon. It's needless, I mean, we don't want this on our shores, but it's inevitable it's going to come. So all our islands are concentrating now on being able to test and being able to treat. We have officially written to PAHO, and so we expect a response in that regard very soon. We are continuing our work with the multi-stakeholders, and Dr. Mitchell will speak to the work that we do with our stakeholders to educate them and get everyone prepared for the inevitable arrival of COVID-19.
Yeah, boy. All right, so all you, on another note, the Windwards, you know they'll be playing soon in Grenada, right? So when the Windwards play, it's 7th round, 4-day match here against Jamaica beginning tomorrow. Fans of the game could see 7 Grenadian players on the squad. Now, they are Devon Smith, Andre Fletcher, Ryan John, Roland Cato, Preston McSween, Emmanuel Stewart, and Shimron Lewis. They are joined by Sunil Ambris, the captain, Kavim Hodge, vice captain, Kimani Milius, Kieran Kotoy, and Kenneth Demba, and Larry Edwards. All right, so Grenada will see some good cricket, you know, with some of your favorite players. All you, listen to this, huh? Body Image Fitness Center and Megaforce Promotion this morning signed on to become the latest corporate citizens to partner with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited Pump It Up Family Fun Walk. Now in its 12th year, the program was established to provide financial assistance to various health charities. Since 2009, the Family Fun Walk has raised funds to assist several charitable organizations, including the Grenada Heart Foundation, the Grenada Diabetes Association, Grenada Kidney Foundation, the Sickle Cells Association, and the Lupus Foundation. This year's Pump It Up Walk on the sister isle of Carriacou will be held on Sunday, 5th April and April 26th on the mainland. All right, and they say that they are trying to raise the funds towards the re-establishment of the Carlton home. I think they are looking to go at $550,000, and they're getting very close to that. All right, they say so far $335,000 raised. All right, and they're going and they're going and they're going, and they say next year the target is huge, but they're hoping that they can achieve it. All right, for the greater good. Earlier, I think one of the very interesting news that's out there right now that I want to share with you is talk about Africa. Now, initially, when the coronavirus was discovered and started infiltrating in other regions, Africa was one of the continents that it was feared that once it gets there, that it will wreak havoc on the people there, given the economic situation there and the lack of proper health and medical facilities and so on. However, they are seeing something that no one expected. Today, first of all, we are hearing that officials are confused over the lack of coronavirus in Africa. And that confusion arouses skepticism on social media. That it seems that them people don't happy that Africans just ain't getting infected with the business. Whereas, so far for now, we don't know what will happen just now. But it seems like Africans are giving the thing a good punch. Now, as the coronavirus sweeps the globe, experts are wondering why, just why, Africa is relatively unscratched, untouched, unmoved by the outbreak. Because in the beginning, they were wondering how it is Africa was going to cope. Our biggest concern continues to be the potential for COVID-19 to spread in countries with weaker health systems. Like Africa? Oh God! However, that worry transformed into confusion, since so far there have been 9 confirmed diagnoses on a continent, housing more than 1 billion people. To date, 3 reported cases are in Algeria, 2 in Egypt, 2 in Senegal, 1 in Nigeria, and 1 in Gambia. And here's this, shh, although don't make no noise there, although making no noise on the program, let me tell you this now. Shh. Almost all the infections were attributed to people who traveled to Africa from other continents. Oh God! 2 of the cases in Algeria, a mother and a daughter, they contracted the COVID-19 after they hosted visitors from France. So anyway, if this pattern is to continue, it would seem that people of our hue, you hear me, has something in the system that Corona want nothing with. The fig, the dash in the yam, the potato, the bread, the pepper, the seasoning pepper, the coconut oil, the ginger, the garlic, in all the lily lolo, the kalaloo, in all the lily lolo. the fish, the jacks, the crab, the manicou, the iguana, you know, little play with us. So anyway, they are trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, come and take a sample of my blood. Go in Africa and take a 2 sample and see what they hide in the system. Anyway, later. Oh God. Although we kind of worried, and legitimately so, it will be discovered that people of our hue would handle the business differently. And so they go wonder, why? Anyway, let me talk. Next time, them thing don't want nothing with us, they passing straight. You understand? They skip, they go say, oh God, the Caribbean and people with that hue, you know, they different by Olia. Hear that piece. Right? Trinidad. The Attorney General there said on Monday that the law to set up a public register of sex offenders has been proclaimed, and the register now waits to be filled by the names of future but not past offenders. So in other words, they now have their sex offenders register. All right? They say that the law is clear. They say that it is when the court puts you in the register, you go on to the register, and there are multiple circumstances. The law is proclaimed. Right now, the basket is to be filled by way of judgment after judgment. All right, so once you offend right now in Trinidad, your name going on the register. You understand? And speaking of the sex offenders register, or registry as we just say it here, Nicki Minaj, man, husband, or however you want to call him, is in the news again. You understand? Now we are saying it. They say Nicki Minaj might be saying yikes, because the rapper's husband, Kenneth Petty, was placed in federal custody, according to reports, for failing to register as a sex offender. And that's according to TMZ, who first reported this. The outlet also reported that Petty turned himself in. They say that his legal troubles began after he was pulled over by the Beverly Hills Police Department in November. He was arrested, and his bail was set at $20,000 per Los Angeles County Sheriff Department records obtained by the news. Right now, he was ordered at the time to register as a sex offender in California, as he was already registered in New York State. Clearly, he failed to make the change. Now, Petty, 41, was convicted, according to reports, for the attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl. They say he was 15, so that would have happened a while ago. A long time ago, in fact. He was 15, she was 16, in a relationship. Minaj said in his defense in December 2018, "But go AWF. Internet y'all can run my life. Y'all can't even run y'all own life." Now Minaj, 36, and Petty, they tied the knot in October of 2019, just months before her brother, Jelani Minaj, was sentenced to 25 years to life behind bars for repeatedly raping his 11-year-old stepdaughter. daughter. I don't know how I read that one for audio. Can I just take that out of my screen and move on? How are we looking for time? Probably I could skip a few of the things that I have. Oh, before we do that, Chinese researchers say 2 types of coronavirus could be infecting people. They say 2 separate types of the novel corona. One more aggressive than the other could be infecting people during the sweeping outbreak. A Chinese scientist revealed that, they say, in a study, the preliminary study conducted by researchers from the Peking University's School of Life Science and the Institute Pasteur of Shanghai under the Chinese Academy of Science revealed that the infection has evolved into 2 major types, designated L and S. Now, the L type, which is more aggressive, was more prevalent during the early stages of the outbreak in Wuhan, the original epicenter of the virus, and accounted for about 70% of the analyzed strains. About 30% of those strains were linked to the S type, considered less aggressive. Now, the prevalence of the L type decreased after early January, researchers found. Now, the S type, which is considered an older ancestral version of the coronavirus, has become more common since then. The researchers explained that this could have to do with the rush to treat patients infected with the L-type virus, whose symptoms are far easier to detect than the weaker, mild S-type. They say that if the L-type is more aggressive than the S-type, why did the relative frequency of the L-type decrease compared to the S-type in other places after the initial breakout in Wuhan? They wrote, one possible explanation is that since January 2020, the Chinese central and local governments have taken rapid and comprehensive prevention and control measures. All right, we have posted this on our website, and so folks, you can take a look at that as well. I see that we are running out of time. What I would like to do now, folks, is to take a quick break and return shortly. So we are coming back in a moment.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply, but it can come to this. Have adequate storage. Grenada is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring 2-time Grammy Award winners Kool and the Gang, Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Was Ways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Chavo Ranks. 3 nights of amazing music, great food, and pure Grenada hospitality. Grenada Music Festival 2020, June 5th to 7th, Quarantine Park, Grenada. Tickets available online at gotofet.com. Book your flights at hotel today. This ad is sponsored by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Golden Mass invites you to the launch of The Realm, home of the supreme gods and goddesses. Join us as we display our spectacular costume designs for Spice Mass 2020. March 7th, Spice Basket, featuring the best entertainers. Our ambassadors, Natty and Tunda, Jab King, Chaos and LED. Our hype masters for the night, Kevin Crown from New York, Select a Beast and Smiley. Gates open at 9 p.m. Grab your tickets at Grenade and Optical. The Occasion, Big Barbershop, Double Up and online at GoToFed.com. Sponsored by Fast Cash, Swiftback, Body Image, Junction Bar and Grill, Monster, Jackpot City, Go to Fed, Party Grenada and Boss FM. March 7th, Spice Basket. Welcome to the realm, to the realm, to the realm.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Brannan, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Of course, they are Grenada's tent people. Folks, it's now time for the National Report.
Prime Minister announces additional $2 million allocation for Grenada's COVID-19 preparedness. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, March 4th, 2020, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, has announced an additional $2 million to further bolster Grenada's preparedness for COVID-19. In an address to the nation Tuesday evening, Dr. Mitchell reassured the population that all the necessary measures are being taken to safeguard the country and its people. He said, "We will not spare any effort in ensuring all the necessary measures are in place to protect our country, and therefore we stand prepared to increase that figure if it becomes necessary as the situation unfolds." A more detailed plan on utilization of the additional resources will come from the Ministry of Health, but the Prime Minister spoke of investing heavily in the procurement of additional medical and other supplies to further equip our hospitals and community health centers, and to outfit the treatment centers that are being established.
Schools are also being provided with significant supplies, such as thermometers, to help identify symptoms of the virus. There is also ongoing training of medical practitioners, other frontline staff and at-risk groups, including hotel workers and educators.
At the policy level, several critical decisions have been taken, including the appointment of Dr. George Mitchell as the COVID-19 coordinator. Dr. Mitchell, a former chief medical officer, will manage the activities of all stakeholders as they relate to the disease. Additionally, Dr. Mitchell disclosed that the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, has indicated its willingness to procure equipment for Grenada and other member states as part of its contribution to the fight against the virus.
This combination of local and regional measures will help to strengthen other critical actions, which have so far proven effective in keeping the disease out of Grenada. The Importation Transmission Watch announced last week remains in full effect, and we are strictly enforcing the mandatory quarantine of persons entering Grenada from at-risk countries. Just yesterday, for example, a private aircraft was denied entry because of the potential exposure of some of its passengers. It is clear that government will not intentionally put the people of this country at risk for any reason at all, despite propaganda to the country.
The Ministry of Health continues to beef up its response efforts for COVID-19, which continues to spread from country to country. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health highlighted new measures that will be implemented to boost the island's level of preparedness. Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele said 6 health facilities have been identified as flu clinics for persons exhibiting flu-like symptoms to seek medical attention. He said the flu clinics are existing facilities that are outfitted to accommodate patients to prevent intermingling at the other facilities.
Basically, those are, and I can name a couple of them right after I explain why we did that. Those would be existing health facilities that we can allow for a separate entrance, where we can say for individuals, if you believe you have symptoms of the coronavirus or you have symptoms of a flu-like symptoms, please go to one of these flu clinics, and there will be an appropriately marked entrance for you to go to, so that individuals aren't going to our health centers and commingling with other Grenadians who don't have flu symptoms. So some of those that have been identified immediately right now would be the Grand Anse Medical Center, Gove, Sates, St. David's, General Hospital, and Karakou.
The ministry has also re-established its sanitary authority, which has been headed by the Chief Medical Officer. This authority will monitor and prevent infectious diseases.
It is an authority that was set up or established to deal with the control, monitoring, prevention of infectious diseases in the country. It has quite a lot of strength and powers with respect to entering facilities, strength of law for quarantining, etc. And so the Ministry of Health has moved on from that, but I think it is appropriate in this instance, because it is multi-sectorial as well, to re-establish that sanitary authority.
According to Minister Steele, emphasis will be placed on dealing with upper respiratory tract infections. The hospitals will be equipped with more ventilators. Because
this virus presents itself for the 15 to 20% cases that are severe, presents itself with upper respiratory tract infection, we have moved to increase the quantity of ventilators that we have at the hospital as well. Now, that would not have been a normal plan for us. So those are the types of things that we have done.
A COVID-19 helpline has been set up. It is 538-4787. That number again, 538-4787 or 53-virus. Still with news on COVID-19, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, has welcomed the announcement by the World Bank Group of immediate support for COVID-19 response activities. On Wednesday, March 3rd, the World Bank announced through a press release that it is making available an initial package of up to $12 billion in immediate support to assist countries coping with the health and economic impacts of the global outbreak. The financing, as the bank explained, is intended to help member countries take effective action to respond to and lessen the tragic impacts of COVID-19. The World Bank's press release further stated that the new fast-track package will help developing countries strengthen health system, including better access to health services to safeguard people from the epidemic, strengthen disease surveillance, bolster public health interventions, and work with the private sector to reduce the impact on economies. Both grants and low-interest loans for low-income countries will be available through the newly announced financial package, some of which will be channeled through the International Development Association, IDA. Dr. Mitchell said this pledge of support from the World Bank is welcomed news. He said, and I quote, "The threat of COVID-19 requires countries to make huge financial commitments to implement the wide-ranging measures that are necessary as part of the preventative effort. Therefore, any offer of support will go a long way in helping to meet that challenge," unquote. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Grenada's #1 track and field event is back. The Inter-Secondary School Championships is back at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. You must be there. Experience the intense rivalry between athletes of our secondary schools on the track and in the field. Blame yourself if you miss the first ever Republic Bank sponsored Intercall 2020. Blame yourself if you miss a day of exciting action on the track. Be there every day, day 1, 2, and 3. The 53rd Intercall Championships takes place on March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd, starting at 9 a.m. each day. Come, let's celebrate the inaugural Republic Bank Intercall. Come out, families. Come out, past students. Come out, school-based supporters for the return of competition on the track and in the field, because Intercall is back.
Welcome back. Coordinator of Grenada's COVID-19 response says more emphasis will be placed on monitoring the most at-risk group in society, the elderly. Former Chief Medical Officer Dr. George Mitchell has been charged with the responsibility of rolling out the strategic preparedness plan. On Wednesday, Dr. Mitchell accompanied Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin and Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele during the government's weekly post-cabinet media brief to update the nation on the country's response efforts. Dr. George Mitchell says the way forward is to heighten public awareness, monitoring and capacity building.
The issue of public education and awareness, and therein lies the job of the media, which is extremely important to us. We want you to be, as usual, responsible reporters, because this is a national issue, on the facts as they present themselves and not the rumors. Our monitoring and surveillance, this has been excellent. I have to give kudos to the folks who have been on the front line, and they've been doing an excellent job. This we will continue to pay emphasis on. The third strategic area is on building partnerships and stakeholder involvement. We really need to ensure that everyone is on board in this national response. And so I'll be paying particular emphasis on this area. Our fourth strategic line of action will be paying emphasis on the most at-risk groups, which will be, of course, as you know, based on the epidemiology of the disease, the elderly persons who are immunocompromised, etc.
He says over the next 2 weeks, emphasis will be placed on the elderly with increased home visits by health professionals.
The remainder of this week and next week to start with, that every single home is visited, that the medical practitioners that visit these homes ensure as best as possible that every single occupant there is basically checked, and that they are experiencing the most optimum health that they possibly can. We do have a list of what we call shut-ins that are at every health center, and every medical clinic also know who these people are. And there has been a program over the years of visits, monthly visits. I must say that not in all cases that is done on a religious basis, but that needs to be upgraded, that needs to be done. And we're going to ask our practitioners, yesterday, as I said, through their supervisor, Dr. Sean Charles, I made a plea to them to have a program to sort of like facilitate that kind of service to the population.
Dr. Mitchell gave the assurance that the ministry is prepared to deal with any challenge or setback that may arise in the process. That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, March 4th. Let's recap the top story. Prime Minister announces additional $2 million allocation for Grenada's COVID-19 preparedness. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
All right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you guys on, all right? Now, folks, what we have next for you is the weather. Let's take a look and see what the weather is like for today. All right, so tonight, light moderate showers, and we can expect the temperature to be about 23.5 degrees Celsius as a low. Today's max 30 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. And that's the weather report for tonight. All right, if we get some showers, God bless us. Let's say hello to Angel, Eunice, Rachel, Sherman, Peter, Mishi, Kirin. Did I say Rachel? Did I say Lisa? Did I say Trevelyn, Sheba? Did I say Ezran, Dwight, Randall, Edison, and Christopher, Margaret, Sally, Simone, Michelle, Alwyn is with us as well. Did I say Rachel? Did I say Monica? Cynthia is with us as well, and Jane, and Crispin is with us. We want to say hello to Crispin, Della, and Joyous. We want to say thank you to all of you, Hazel, and the others for being with us tonight. We have another program for you tomorrow, God's willing, same time. Ruth, hello, thank you very much for joining us. All right, Ruth and Osric. So we're going to touch base tomorrow, God's willing, again, and pray for us, and all will be well. Take care of yourselves, guys. Michael, my brother, my mom, Lintona, Merrill, and the rest of the home circle, thank you for watching. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No, Veron. Good night, everyone.